When I ask you to think about death, how do you feel?
Unknown was the first thing I thought of. I'm very much a person that likes to know the answers to things. And when I don't know the answer to things, it kind of scares me.
I think for me, it's inevitable. It's bound to happen. There's no need to be scared of it, so I just don't really have any worries or sadness about it.
Have I thought about death much in my life? Yeah, I reckon growing up it was always a big question as a kid, wondering, I was quite an existential thinker. I would always ponder why we're here, what was next, what happens after death. As life continues and the loved ones around you grow older or illness strikes, you definitely start to think about it in new senses and new lights as to how it's going to affect you.
When I think about death, I feel pretty scared. I experienced it maybe most profoundly when my dog passed away. So that hurt a lot, and I think when I think about it in the context of my own life and that ceasing to exist, that kind of freaks me out a bit.
As a young person, I view death with a little bit of uncertainty, a little bit of fear. I know it's a natural part of life, but that doesn't stop it feeling like it's going to happen, and that's the great unknown. So I feel a bit scared about it, honestly.
I haven't had many conversations about death. I kind of believed when I was younger that I would live forever, or there would be a medicine that would come out that would make me survive forever, and I just didn't come to terms with what's actually going to happen.
It's hard as humans for us to imagine the thought of death and for it to be associated in logical terms with a dead end of humanity, or us just losing sight of everything that is past death. That's where the mystery begins.
When I first heard about the Death Cafe, I was very curious straight away. I think it's an interesting concept and not one that I'd heard of before, so I guess that's what kind of reeled me in.
I think it's really important to have events like this for young people. We all are going to die. The conversation needs to be had about it. I feel like a lot of people get really in their heads about it.
The purpose of Death Cafe for someone who is attending is simply to create a safe space for people who are curious, want to engage in a conversation around what death, what dying, what end of life might mean for them. We recently held a youth Death Cafe. It was absolutely awe-inspiring to watch. It's just a simple conversation around end of life and death and dying with other young people to help them understand that it's actually something that we all need to have as a community. It doesn't matter your age, these conversations need to be broached and lovingly opened. To watch a room full of young people, all in small groups, thoroughly engaged with one another, asking questions of one another, sharing their own cultural experiences of what death was like for them in their families and in their communities. It was just amazing.
As a participant, you have a unique opportunity to be in company of complete strangers and talk about something really intimate, sometimes vulnerable, but real. There's a connection that happens, but there's also self-discovery. During a normal Death Cafe, I'm not sure if there is a normal Death Cafe because every situation is different. But often the topics that are approached are about personal choices. And it could be that someone is caring for an elderly parent or individual in their life and they're trying to determine what choices that person wants to make. Or other people want to investigate what things they need to do, and it could be having a will, an advanced care directive, all of the really practical aspects of facing end of life. And often people want to talk about funerals, and it could be really good funerals, or it could be funerals that were done in a way that didn't actually nourish them and honour the person.
We've just had the Death Cafe. I feel like I have had a lot of time to reflect more about my feelings about death and open up a bit and share with complete strangers my experiences, which has been really, really nice. And also learning about other people's experiences, you know, and how they're kind of different to mine.
It's an opportunity where you get to talk, meet people, and realize something that feels uncomfortable isn't as uncomfortable as it actually seems. I've had amazing conversations. Anybody can do it. It's a fantastic experience.
I think one of the key takeaways today for me was how death is differently perceived when it comes to people practicing different cultures and religions. So the diversity in perceptions of death was one of my key takeaways today. And I think it is extremely important for young adults to attend something like a Death Cafe.
So after this Death Cafe, back with my normal mates, I would sit down with them and create conversation around it, because I think it is important, and it's something that they wouldn't do.
I'm feeling really curious still. I feel like there's a lot more conversation to be had. I'm definitely just curious to sort of talk to my friends, talk to my family about what they think about death, what they want at the end of their life. And yeah, I'm feeling pretty good about it. It was just a really nice sort of safe space to just talk about something that is quite difficult too, yeah.
Each year on Dying to Know Day, there are more than 100 events held either in person, it might be online, it could be in homes, it might even be in workplaces all around Australia. It's a homegrown campaign, a national campaign that builds our ability to be able to deal with death. The more that we can do as a nation to support initiatives around increasing death literacy, the easier it's going to be for us to deal with end of life. As Australians, it's on us to do death better. We encourage everyone to get behind the Dying to Know Day campaign in whatever way you can, because everyone can play a role.